Good morning. Welcome, everybody. It may be your morning, it may be afternoon, it may be evening, but I am just so happy that you joined me and took time out of your Saturday to listen to this information that I'm going to share with you, whether you do it now or on the replay. I'm just happy that you are taking a look at how to improve your health by improving your sleep. Now, you might wonder, why am I wanting to talk about this health product or health product? Why am I, excuse me, you know what? People do make mistakes and I'm human just like you. Anyway, I hope you can hear me. So I'm hoping my volume is loud enough and clear enough. But what I want to say is the reason I am sharing this is because of my own personal experience in over 30 to 35 years. I always had terrible, terrible sleeps. And I refused to take medications. And so I looked for different ways and methods of things that I could try. Now, what I'm going to say is what I also learned from my own personal experience and doing research is when you have poor sleep, it affects your hormones in your body. So it causes you to gain weight. It causes you, when you're tired and sleepy in the morning, your brain performance isn't as good. I call that like a brain fog. And another thing is you don't have the energy to exercise, right? So those things are good, are important, because we don't want these things to happen. And when you do get a good night's sleep, you're likely not going to eat as much. You're going to be able to exercise, and also you hopefully don't gain the weight, and you're going to feel rested and energized. Now, my question to you is, who wouldn't want to feel better? Who wouldn't want to see how they could improve their sleep? And so that is what my topic's about. It's about how to improve to get a good night's sleep. Now, I have 18 facts that I could share, but you know what? Unless you had a pencil and paper and could write them down fast enough, I'm only going to cover 5 of them today. And I hope that they will bring you some value and that it's something that you can use or try in your life if you haven't done so. So I'm going to now proceed. And so here is what I'm giving you for tip number 1. Very important. Stick to a schedule. If at all possible, go to bed at the same time every night, and also get up at the same time every morning. Now, you'll ask why. Well, what happens is if you're not doing that, you're breaking. They have a special word. It's called a circadian rhythm in your brain, but I call it. Uh, oh gosh, I just forgot the word I always use. But anyway, it's like tricking your brain into thinking something different. You break up the cycle, is the word I'm using for it, your cycle that your body becomes used to. And it's like developing any habit. It takes time, right? So that's really, really important. And this isn't going to happen overnight. And just do it anyway, because it might just start you on the right way. Another thing many people like to do in regards to a schedule, oh, it's the weekend, I can sleep in. Don't do it, because if you do, or I can go to bed later. If you do that, you are throwing your whole body out of cycle. And when it's out of cycle, then all these things that I mentioned when I started with you um, is going to interfere, and you won't be as efficient through the day, right? It's like you want to just drag your feet. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is eliminate, if possible, your afternoon naps. Now, by that, you might need them. And if you do, okay, but do 2 things. Do it early in the afternoon and only have about a half hour nap. Set your alarm if you need to do that so that it will wake you up. Because yes, our bodies sometimes need to be rebuilt, redone, whatever. And maybe you just overworked yourself that day. But try not also to do it after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because the effects of that will be you feel rested. You want to go to bed later. You can't fall asleep because you've interrupted that rhythm in your brain, that important cycle. So, again, sticking to a schedule from point one leads into what I'm saying in point two. If it's at all possible, eliminate those naps, okay? Point number three is increase your bright light. And you're going to go, well, what does that mean? Well, there's various ways you can do that. First, you might be, especially any time in the spring, summer, fall, we generally have a lot of good bright sunshine yet, right? Try, if at all possible, to get outside in the bright sunshine. That light stimulates your brain, and that's how melatonin goes there, because that's what our brain is needing in a natural way, right? Now, the other thing is, if you are a person who isn't able to get out in the bright sunshine, at least for 2 hours, have a bright light in the room where you're sitting, because again, it's stimulating your brain. And that is so awesome, because we need that, right? We don't want to have it slow down and feeling like this. That's not what you're wanting to do. So that to me is a really valuable tip. And then that leads to another point: exercise. And I know everybody's heard about exercise. You get sick of it. But all I'm saying is it doesn't have to be strenuous. Say, and I'm just going to use a senior, for example. Maybe you don't have the best mobility. Maybe you aren't able to move around as much without some assistance. And, or maybe you use a walker or a cane. Awesome. Use them. Get up and walk in your house or your room, wherever it is you spend your most time, for 15-minute cycles. Go either up and down, round and round, whatever works for you, whatever your space allows you to do. Do it for 15 minutes, 2 times a day. And by doing that, and increase it, try to do it 3 to 4 times a week. Because again, remember I said the importance that exercise, it stimulates your brain. It's getting your blood flowing. It just helps you to feel better. And you know what? Maybe you're one of those people that can do 10 jumping jacks. Do those a couple of times a day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes at a time, because that takes a lot of work. Jumping jacks. I've done those all the time. And you know what? I like it. But that's just another tip and something I think could be very valuable for you. All right. Now, the next one is tip 5. So you're not. Oh, yes. Turn off your screen time. And you're going, what do you mean screen time? Turn off that computer. Turn off that iPad. Turn off your phone. Anything that's electronics, at least an hour before you go to bed. And I too personally have found that's awesome. It helps immensely, because what is happening is you are stopping all that light. It's like a blue light that comes from it, and it might even affect your eyes. But what it's doing is stimulating your brain. You get noise, you get motion, and you have light. Your brain doesn't need that. You need to start to slow down. You need to start to get ready for the evening, because what you're hoping to do is to go to bed, relax before you get there, and fall asleep. So those are my 5 tips. The first one is so I'll just recap, okay? Tip 1, stick to a schedule. That is so important. I can't even impress the importance of that for you on a daily basis. Don't let yourself get stuck in that weekend mode. if that applies to you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Tip number 2, eliminate, your afternoon naps. And if you need them, just do a short one and do it early in the afternoon. Tip number 3 is get bright light. Whether it's your ability to go outside in the sunlight for 2 hours, or whether you can get bright light inside your house. And I don't mean the window light, by the way. I should clarify that for you. Make sure it's a bright light, like what I've got in here, because I work around my computer all the time. And I have noticed a huge difference by doing that. It's just like you're ready to go. You've got it just, I guess, because like I said, it's stimulating the brain. You're getting melatonin to your brain. So that's awesome. Point 4 is exercise. And exercise can mean different things to different people. You can walk, you can jog, you can hike, you can do marathons, treadmills. There's so many things that you can do. But if you can't, at least go up and down in your house 15 minutes at a time for 2 times a day, 3 to 4 times a week. Any movement is important, no matter how small. And I just thought of something. If you're a senior and maybe 15 minutes is too much for you at the beginning, then start and only do maybe 5 or 10. Don't overdo it. Don't overplay yourself, because your body may not be used to that. And it's really, really, really important that you get into that habit. Develop it gradually if that's what you need to do, okay? I really hope that one helps you. And then tip number 5. Tip number 5 is eliminate that screen time, right? Because computers give off a light. And I'm actually seriously consider getting something to put over my glasses, or maybe get another pair, because I spend a lot of time on the computer. And I do know that my brain doesn't want to shut down. So I do need to shut it down at least an hour before I go to bed. So I've personally experienced what they're suggesting and saying. And I do find that helps as well. And it goes the same thing for your phone, goes the same thing for your iPads, if that's what you have. Anything that's electronic. Games is another thing. Young kids that are doing games all the time in videos. Oh, that's such fast moving action. So it's so stimulating that it's hard to slow that brain down. You just got to stop it at least an hour before you go to bed. Now, here's something else you might want to do, especially if you're a senior, is when you shut everything off and you just sit there quietly for about an hour, 45 minutes anyway. Put your jammies on, take your meds, whatever it is you might need to do so that and go to the bathroom. Oh yeah. Make sure your routine is done. Sit down, just have it peaceful and quiet in a soft light if you want, or dark, whatever works for you, and then go to bed. See what difference that might make for you. So those are my 5 tips. And like I said at the very beginning, I have over 17 that I could share with you. But I do know that it would be very difficult for you to remember all of them. So well, first of all, I have to tell you something. I am personally so excited because after 30 years, the last 9 months, I can sleep great and I don't need any medication or anything to put me to sleep. So anyway, my call to action for you is this. If you would like more information, if you would like me to talk with you, drop me your email below in the comment section. I will gladly get a hold of you, and maybe we could set up a 10-minute talk and discuss some more things that may help you, right? And maybe some of these things are things that you've already tried. I don't know. But I'm just here to help you because I care about you. And I'm just offering some things that might benefit you. So thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome Saturday and God bless.